Number 7. That was 8. Hey guys, what is up? It's Grace, and today is a glasses day, if you couldn't tell. I usually film on Wednesday straight after calculus, which is the bane of my existence. Oh, so today I just couldn't do the whole changing into contacts thing, so we're just gonna roll with it, okay? So as you might know from my last video, I turned 19 on Saturday, and since I probably won't be filming on Saturday since I'm gonna be super busy, I thought that my Wednesday wisdom would be 19 things I learned at 19. I'm just gonna get right into it. I have a list right in front of me, so let's do it. The first thing I have is you decide your attitude and personality, who you are as a whole. Do not try and change just because someone else has what you want. One thing that I've noticed is that I never tried to change because someone else was who I wanted to be, but it was because they had popularity or they had the job I wanted or they had this. So I was like, if I'm more like them, I will have what I want. Don't try and change. Just find a unique way to get there, and that's what you're going to use. That is definitely a hard lesson to learn, but as you get older, you learn it. By the way, P.S., most of these I've learned in the past year because 18 is a hard year. Just warning you, there's a lot of endings and there's a lot of new beginnings. So, yeah, that being said, let's get on to number 2. This is good things come to those who wait. Do your thing and good things will come as long as you're working hard. Don't try and force things. This is another one I think that's coming later on that I'll explain in greater detail. But as long as you're working hard, you're gonna have opportunities come up. So don't worry if you can't, something doesn't work out or you just don't feel like something's gonna happen. Just keep doing your thing, and as long as you're working as hard as you can, you're gonna get opportunities and things are gonna come along that you want and you're interested in. So yeah, don't sweat it. Number 3, I'm already off track. You can't love others until you fully love yourself. This is one that I have said repeatedly in my videos, but you really can't. You can't show another person love and be there for another person until you know yourself and you love yourself. And I'm not going to go into huge amount of detail because I've done that so many times concerning this topic, but that's definitely true. You have to love yourself first. Number 4. I think I've said 4 3 times with my hands. This is already, oh gosh. It's okay to decide not to pursue something as long as you give it your all. This goes along with number 5 too, which is the one I was talking about earlier. Don't try and force things that aren't there. This is relationships, jobs, anything really. So between these two, if you feel like something's not working out and you gave it your all, it's okay to back down and say, okay, this is not for me. But just walking into it and being nah, and quitting, that's not what I'm saying. If you 100% give it your all and it's just not working, and you decide this isn't good for me or this isn't healthy, I don't want to pursue this, it's okay not to. If you're in a relationship and it's not healthy and you've given it your all, it's okay to say, hey, this isn't working, this isn't helping me, it's making me stressed or whatever, we need to step back and review this. That's okay. Yeah, I kind of ended that abruptly. Number 6, we're on 6 now. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, don't panic. Even the people who know at 19 will probably change their minds. If you're not Kylie Jenner, who knew exactly what she was doing at 19 because that's how she was raised, then you probably aren't gonna know what you want to do. Even if you have a major and you're set to do that major, there's gonna be days where you're nah. And it's okay, don't sweat it, because honestly, a lot of my friends are 19, have been 19 for a while because I'm kind of young, and they're all changing their majors. We're all having the quarter life crisis because it's hard. This is what you're gonna be doing for the rest of your life. And so it's yeah, it's hard. I need to speed it up with these or else we're gonna be here for 2 hours. Number 7. Be open-minded for everything. People, jobs, opportunities, no matter what it is, be an open-minded person. This is one that it took a little bit for me to kind of hit that point, But once you hit it, like, it's so great. I love talking to people that I've never met before and hearing their views on things that I've viewed differently for so long. You don't have to change your entire mindset because they said that, but like, just hearing that, it's so important. Especially, like, I've learned this a lot being in college. You do a lot of weird things for money. And I'm not saying that like in a weird way, but like, if you never considered working in the food system, you will for college, because like, you spend money like crazy. And it's like, be open-minded to that. If you see weird jobs that you think you might be interested in, do them. And same with opportunities. Yeah, if an opportunity comes up and you're like, nah, you might change your mind. Number 8, learn to love hearing others' point of view, that just goes along with what I just said. So yeah, learn to love that. Number 9. Be a good listener, but also a good leader. Don't be afraid to speak up, but the best leaders are listeners who can add to an idea or a compromise. Listen before you speak, and this is hard because I always want to put my 2 cents in. I always want to cut people off and be like, hey, this is what I think. But even if you just wait a second and listen to them before you put like your 2 cents in, you can still comment on it. You can still contribute to that, but give them their time and be a listener before a speaker, and that's going to in turn make you a leader, if that makes any sense. Number 10, it's okay to not always love where you are in life, but it's not okay to stop working towards a life you love. If you're in a place in your life where you're like, this goes back to the whole being in a rut and like, or you don't like the job you have, or you don't like this, it's okay to not be happy. It's okay to say, man, I hate this, I want to change it. But change it, don't just complain about it. It's like, if you want a job, work towards that job. If you want to be in a relationship with a specific person, don't just say, man, I hope they notice me. Go out there, talk to them, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but at least you tried. Like, don't sit there and be like, I want this perfect life that I have in my head, and then don't work for it. 11, nobody's perfect. Don't be so hard on yourself or others. So if you make a mistake, it's okay. If someone else makes a mistake, don't be the one to gossip about it and be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so did this and they were so bad at it. Nobody's perfect. We're all going to be different when it comes to different things. We're all going to have certain things that we're bad at or good at, and there's certain things that other people are going to fail at and you're going to be really good at, but that doesn't mean that you sit there and you're like, ha, beat ya. Like, just know that people are going to make mistakes, especially in relationships, and understand that. And yeah, that's really all I'm going with that. Number 12, forgiveness will get you a long way. If someone says sorry, be willing to listen. Be a forgiving person. Don't sit there and say, oh, they did this, and then when they say I'm sorry, because it takes a lot to say I'm sorry, and you can tell when it's a genuine I'm sorry and when it's not. When it's not, it's a totally different situation. But I'm saying, like, when it is, sit there and listen. Don't shut them down immediately, because that's honestly not a very forgiving heart, and you're not going to get very far. And I feel like you're going to lose a lot of people, especially because nobody's perfect. And that goes on with 13. Don't give in and keep going back, though. I have a 3-chance rule, and a lot of people know this, especially like before Mason came along. When I was in relationships, I would give people 3 chances, and if they did something awful to me, I'm not talking little mistakes, but did something awful to me 3 times, I would move on. You guys, you can't keep going back, especially if someone knows that they can take advantage of you. And I feel like 3 honestly is a lot, but I mean, I was like a teenager. I'm a really trusting person too, so I was like 3. But you make your own rule and you stand by that rule. Don't fall back and become somebody's person that they can come back to whenever they need it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's really all I'm gonna say about that. You know when enough is enough. 14, you decide your future. Make sure it's one you're passionate about. Don't pursue something for the wrong reasons. I know a lot of people that are in a major or they were in a major because of the money, or they didn't pursue something because of the money, and then they ended up switching to that major that didn't have that much money because they were passionate about it. And honestly, if you're passionate about something, pursue it, and if it doesn't have the attributes that you want, you will find a way to make it work. I almost didn't go equine science because a lot of times you don't make that much money, and it's important to me that I'm stable. I want to be stable. I don't ever want to be in a position where I feel helpless. So I had to work really hard to find a job that fits for me within that category, and I found one. And some days I still want to switch just like a different job, but I'm still on the track to do whatever I want to do in the equine world. I mean, you don't have to have it all figured out in one day, but don't knock something out because it isn't like financially stable, or someone else is doing it and you don't like them, because you're gonna find a way around that if it's truly what you want. 15. It's okay to have a bad day, shake it off, and try again tomorrow. I have days where I work so hard, but it just doesn't work out. Like, something bad just happens repeatedly, time after time after time after time, or I'm just like, I can't get it right. And that's okay. On those days, I just have to calm down, lay down. Sometimes I'll watch Netflix, sometimes I'll hang out on YouTube, I don't know, reply on Instagram, I don't know. But just take a nap and try again tomorrow. If it's not something that you have to get done immediately, it's okay to step back and say, well, today's been terrible, and rest in that and try and get yourself better. Do some yoga, eat some healthy food, because it will make you feel better. I know I say that a lot, but it will. Watch your favorite movie, hang out, I don't know, like, do whatever makes you happy. Read a book. I go out to the barn a lot. And just, it's okay to be like, rest in that and try again tomorrow, not try to keep pushing. 16, it's okay to say no, never overfill your plate, focus on what matters. Especially in college, you are met with a lot of opportunities. On UK alone, like UK's campus alone, I know we have over 500 organizations, and I feel like it's growing every day. We have like a Bigfoot club and like a squirrel watching club. I just got an email about a High School Musical club where they just jammed High School Musical like music. We literally have everything. And with that, you're gonna get flyers and people who are all thrusting all of this upon you, and they're like, do it, do it, do it. But eventually it's gonna come to a point where your plate is so full, either you're pushing back educational things that should be your top priority if you're in college, or you're pushing back these organizations that you're paying to be a part of. So if you're not going to be able to give like these few things your all, unless you're like superhuman and you can give everything your all, then is it really worth it? You just have to sit back and like know when enough is enough, and know how much you can handle before it becomes too much, or it's going to start hitting you mentally, and then you're not going to feel accomplished with anything, because there's always going to be something else. Number 17. If you need to, don't be afraid to step back and see where you are, where you stand. This goes along with the last one. And having a bad day. If you need to take a step back and evaluate your life, evaluate what's happening, evaluate whatever, don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to say, okay, this isn't okay, I need to change it. And step back and see what matters, where you are. This is all kind of along the video I posted about when you're in a rut. All of that. Don't be afraid to do that. Everyone has that. Everyone has those days. No one really can avoid it, and it's just like, do it, like if you need it. 18. Don't be afraid to text or call someone first. And this is kind of getting at life's too short and you need to take chances. If you miss someone, don't be afraid to call them. If you feel like you ended on the wrong foot with someone and you just want to clear the air, don't be afraid to text them. If you get an opportunity to study abroad, don't say no because of a little small problem. Take chances. Life really is too short. You never know when it's your last day. So don't sit there and sit back and watch everyone else live their life and not live it too. Take chances whenever you can, because you're gonna wish you had when you're older and you settle down and you can't take those chances. 19. My personal favorite, kill them with kindness. Always kill people with kindness. Be kind. Be kind to everyone and do it 5 minutes early. That was my senior quote by Hairstyles. It's so important to be a nice person. I've noticed that you are either seen as a leader, popular, or whatever you want to call it, for two reasons. Because you're so mean that you pushed your way to the top, or because you're so kind that people gravitated towards you. And I'm not saying that it's not about popularity and it's not about leadership. Like, it's about you and being kind and being the nicest person you can be. Honestly, just because you can. Like, no one wants to be mean. I know I feel guilty if I do anything that I feel bad about. So just be a kind person. And a little bonus for you, I love this quote. I think I came up with it myself, but I don't know because I've seen it places, but like I came up with it myself when I was like 12, so I guess someone else came up with it too and like it gravitated. I don't know. But to live or to exist, I want to get this tattooed on me eventually. It is so important to me. Like, this is all along taking chances and living your best life. Do you want to live or do you want to exist? Do you just want to go through life existing, like not doing your best, or do you want to live and experience everything that you possibly can and be the best person you can possibly be? Is basically all that means. So yeah, those are some of my tips. I could go on for a while that I have learned being 19, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. I hope you got something out of this. If you have any tips that you have learned in your years of living, however old you may be, comment them below because I want to hear them. I want to grow on this and see like what we can all learn from each other. So yeah, that is this week's Wednesday Wisdom. I will see you on Monday or Tuesday or whenever. 2 more weeks of school and then I will be back on my YouTube grind full time. So yeah, love you. Comment, like, subscribe.